This week, many people received $1,000, $5,000, or even over $10,000 in the Arbitrum airdrop. If you missed out, don't worry, because there are likely more valuable crypto airdrops coming this year. In today's video, I'll go through 3 potential upcoming airdrops and what you can do to hopefully qualify. As with anything that has to do with airdrops, this is mostly speculation. However, if you go back and look at my video about an Arbitrum airdrop last year, you would find that if you did the tasks I talked about in that video, you would have likely qualified for thousands of dollars in ARB tokens. As always, nothing I say is financial advice, although none of the protocols in this video have an investable token anyways. Now, let's get into it. First, I want to share that I made written checklists for these airdrops as well as 4 other airdrops, which I'll link in the description of this video. It's just a page on my Substack that has step-by-step instructions for how to likely qualify for 7 different airdrops. All right, let's get into the potential airdrops now. The first potential airdrop today is Scroll. Scroll is an upcoming ZK rollup for Ethereum, and many people consider ZK rollups to be the end game for Ethereum scaling. They're widely thought to be more scalable than optimistic rollups like Arbitrum and Optimism. But Scroll is also a ZK EVM. What that means is that it's Ethereum compatible, so any applications that are currently deployed on Ethereum, Uniswap, for example, can easily redeploy over to Scroll. And that means that when they do eventually launch, they'll be able to get an ecosystem more quickly. So what can you do to hopefully qualify for this airdrop because they don't have a token yet? Well, the first thing that you can do, and again, I have all of these steps over here in my airdrop checklists, is we're going to want to interact with the Scroll alpha testnet. And so Scroll has an alpha testnet, and if you've never used a testnet before, basically it looks and feels like a real blockchain, but all the money is fake. And this is so that way they can test things in production and work out the bugs before launching the actual real mainnet. So we're going to interact with the testnet because oftentimes these protocols do airdrop tokens to people that interact with the testnet. First thing that you'll want to do is bridge some funds over to the Scroll testnet. You'll do that from the Ethereum Goerli testnet. So fake Ethereum over to fake Ethereum on ZK EVM, although there is actually a price on Goerli ETH right now, interestingly. So that's the first thing you'll do. You'll bridge some funds over, and you can use your MetaMask for this. And then the next thing you'll want to do is make a few transactions on the testnet. And an easy way to do this is to go to the Uniswap v3 on the Scroll alpha testnet. So here you can swap that ETH that you brought over, you can wrap it. And I would just do a couple different transactions here, maybe one a week for a few weeks, maybe even a couple different months, because then you have transactions spread out over a period of time. And oftentimes that's what they look for when they are determining which addresses to airdrop to. And then if you're a developer, you could even deploy a contract to the testnet. And I'll link this over here in the description. This is just a guide on how to deploy contracts to the Scroll alpha testnet. And I think if you do those things, you're setting yourself up pretty well. As more applications launch on the testnet, then there's probably more you can do. But the key is to have consistent transactions over an extended period of time. The next potential upcoming airdrop is for something known as Kwai Network. Kwai Network is a set of EVM compatible blockchains that are merge mined, and they claim they can achieve massive scalability without compromising decentralization. And they also have some major backers already, such as Polychain Capital. And the way that I think you can go about best positioning yourself for a potential Kwai airdrop is they have this dashboard set up right now where you can earn social media rewards by completing various tasks. And so these tasks involve Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram. And basically these are things such as following them on Twitter, you earn 5 points. Following additional Kwai accounts on Twitter, you earn 5 points for each of them. Liking and retweeting them. So all these different things that involve engaging with their various social media networks will earn you points in this Kwai dashboard. And since they're pushing this pretty hard right now, I think this is a solid way to position yourself for a potential airdrop eventually. The third and final potential airdrop that I want to talk about today is a chain known as Shardium. And Shardium advertises itself as being decentralization for everyone. Like the other chains I've talked about today, it is also EVM compatible, However, it's different in that it scales using something known as dynamic state sharding, and it promises to offer, quote, true decentralization and solid security while also providing, quote, low gas fees forever. So sounds pretty cool. And like Scroll, they also have a testnet. So we're going to interact with something known as the Shardium Liberty testnet. You can see right here on their homepage, there's a button to claim your testnet SHM. And so if we go back to our airdrop checklist, the first thing that you'll want to do is connect your MetaMask wallet to the Shardium Liberty testnet and request funds from their faucet. So I have a link here, and I'll put the link in the description. And they have a process of requesting testnet funds through their Discord. I think that's a great first step to potentially qualify for an airdrop, and at a minimum, you need it to do some of the other things we'll talk about on chain. Once you have your testnet SHM tokens, next thing you'll want to do is interact with some Shardium DeFi projects. So I would go to this one project known as swapped.finance, and here it's on the Shardium testnet. You can make a few transactions, and like I talked about before, you definitely want to do these over an extended period of time because oftentimes they look for people who are consistently active. And the reason they do that is they want to weed out people who, for example, just go there once to hunt the airdrop as opposed to actually using the testnet legitimately over, say, weeks or months. So swap.finance, check it out. Next thing you may want to do is to create an NFT. Basically, we're just doing active things on the chain, but we're doing it on the testnet. So we can easily go to this website known as Sprio.xyz, and you can see there's already almost 74,000 NFTs minted, probably a lot of airdrop hunters. But you can connect your wallet here and then easily mint an NFT on the testnet. And then the final thing that I would do is I would mint a Shardium name on the testnet. So to do that, we'll use this app known as Shardium Name Service, nft.shardium.us. And like with the others, you'll just connect your wallet and use some of that testnet SHM to mint a Shardium name. And so as you can see, basically we're just trying to interact with as many different applications on here as possible, because sometimes when these chains look for qualifications for airdrops, what they'll look for is how many different unique smart contracts did you interact with. That was one of the criteria that Arbitrum looked at, for example. And those are 3 potential airdrops that could end up being quite valuable this year. If you want more videos on airdrops, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.